In this lecture, we're very quickly gonna learn how to test for secure HTTPS connections with Heroku, because we actually need that in one point in our application. So let's go here to our authentication controller, and right here at the top in this create send token function, here is a place where we set the JSON Web Token cookie to secure if we are currently in production. Remember that? So remember that we created this function with a JSON response. It also sends a cookie, which also contains the JSON Web Token. And that cookie has a couple of options. The first one, when it expires. The second one, that it can only be accessed via HTTP, basically. And then, when we're in production, we set that this cookie can only be sent on a secure connection. So basically, on an HTTPS connection. All right? Now, the problem with that is that actually, the fact that we are in production does not mean that the connection is actually secure, right? Because, of course, not all deployed applications are automatically set to HTTPS. And so we need to change this if that we have here. All right? Now, in Express, we actually have a secure property that is on the request. And only when the connection is secure, then this request.secure is true. Okay? Makes sense, right? Now, the problem is that actually in Heroku, this doesn't work. And that's because Heroku proxies, so basically redirect or modifies all incoming requests into our application before they actually reach the app. All right? So in order to make this also work on Heroku, we need to also test if the X forward proto header is set to HTTPS. All right? So that sounds a bit confusing, but again, this is something that Heroku does internally. So let's test here if rec.secure is true, or if request.headers, and the header that we're looking for is X forwarded proto, and this header is set to HTTPS if we are on a secure connection. All right? So this is something very Heroku specific, and so that's why I left this here for the last section after we already deployed the application. So if either request.secure is true, or if this header here is set to HTTPS, then we want the secure options here set to true. And so we can actually kind of refactor this. So basically we can take this because this will be true. And so why say if this is true, then let's say equal true here. So that doesn't make sense. We can instead simply do it like this. All right. And actually we can take it even further and put the secure option right here. So why have it outside if we can just put it here? So secure equals this. Okay? And then we no longer need this. And since we're refactoring, we actually also no longer need this variable here at all. So let's just put it here, give it a save, and there's something wrong there. Okay? And so now the problem is that we do not have access currently to the request in this function. Okay? So we need to add it here, request, and then wherever we have create send token, we of course need to then pass in the request in there. So that's here. So I use Command D to find the next one basically. Request here. And then finally here as well. Okay. So that looks much nicer, and it should also work a lot nicer than before. However, right now this is still not going to be working, because there's just one more thing that we need to do, which is basically to make our application trust proxies. So again, request.secure doesn't work in the first place because Heroku acts as a proxy which kind of redirects and modifies incoming requests. And so we need to go to app.js, and then right after this one here, let's now trust proxies. And we do that by saying app.enable trust proxy. Okay, so this is something that is built into Express for this kind of situations. All right, and so only if we have this setting here correctly set up, then this header here will be correctly set, and we will be able to read its value. All right, so this is how you test if a connection is secure or not when you have your application deployed to Heroku.